Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. If you've chosen to spend the next few minutes walking around Moville with me on what can only be described as a classic Donegal January Sunday morning, first of all thanks, and secondly, if you're watching somewhere warm and sunny, there's no need to feel smug. This rain has been locally sourced and sustainably produced. So we're starting here at the foot of Moville's main street, and you can see the corner bar standing exactly where every respectable Irish town insists a pub should be, on a corner. It's almost written into planning law. And as we climb the hill along Main Street, we pass Barron's restaurant, takeaway and bed and breakfast. If ever a business perfectly captures life in a small Irish town, this is it. Why settle for serving dinner when you can also sell fish and chips and provide a night's accommodation? Honestly, if they started repairing bicycles and selling fishing bait, nobody would even question it. Crossing here at Eamon Gillen & Sons, we head down Foyle Street towards the harbour. Now, Moville itself grew up rapidly during the 19th century, helped enormously by its position on the shores of Lough Foyle. And this road leads us to one of the town's most important historic connections. Long before airports and budget airlines, the harbour was Moville's gateway to the wider world. Steamships regularly connected the town with Derry, Glasgow and beyond, carrying passengers, livestock, mail and cargo. But not everyone boarding those ships was travelling for pleasure. For thousands of people during the 19th century, and especially during the Great Famine, ports like Moville became places of farewell. Families gathered on quaysides not knowing if they would ever see one another again. Some emigrants travelled first to Derry before crossing the Atlantic, while others left directly aboard coastal steamers connecting with larger ocean liners. America, Canada, Australia, these were the destinations filled with hope, but also uncertainty. Every departure carried a mixture of excitement, heartbreak and necessity. Standing here today with only the gentle sound of rain and the occasional gull, it's difficult to imagine the emotion these waters would have witnessed. The harbour itself remains one of Moville's greatest assets. Sheltered within beautiful Lough Foyle, it offers views across to Northern Ireland, though if today's weather has anything to say about it, you simply have to trust me, it's over there somewhere. One of the harbour's most striking features is the Fid, created by Irish sculptor Lough Morris. Morris is well known for creating public artworks that encourage people to think about place, memory and local identity rather than simply decorating a space. The word fid refers to the traditional wooden tool used by sailors for rope work, hardly surprising in a town with such strong maritime roots. The sculpture echoes that simple object but enlarges it into something monumental, inviting visitors to think about the generations of fishermen, sailors and dock workers whose lives revolved around these waters. It's one of those artworks that rewards a second glance. The first time you see it, you think, that's interesting. The second time you realise it's telling the story of an entire community. Leaving the harbour behind, we make our way back into town. And don't forget to like and subscribe if this has been so far informative or entertaining even in some way. Subscribing is a small gesture by you, but it means a lot to me. So here we are back up on the main street again. And on our right is the attractive Annie's bar. What I mean is the bar's attractive, not Annie, though I'm sure she's lovely too. And we pan over now towards the market square, and we'll end up there in a minute. Lots of other bars over that side. Another reminder that in Ireland, nobody should ever have to walk very far before reaching a pub. It's almost a public service. Moville has always punched above its weight socially. During the Victorian era, wealthy visitors arrived to enjoy what was considered healthy sea air, elegant promenades, and a slower pace of life. In fact, the town became something of a holiday resort long before the phrase staycation was ever invented. The Victorians believed sea bathing could cure almost anything. To be fair, if you've survived a January swim in Lough Foyle, you'd probably survive anything. Continuing uphill, we pass the Foyle Hotel, Bar and Eatery. Hotels like this have welcomed travellers for generations, adapting as transport changed from steamships to motor cars, and now to cyclists, walkers and visitors exploring the wild Atlantic Way and the Inishowen Peninsula. Next comes Timber and Duffy Coffee Company, a more modern reminder that every town evolves. Coffee culture has reached even the furthest corners of Ireland. And on the subject of drinks, you can in fact buy me a pint if you enjoy these videos. It's a way of giving a donation. Follow the link in the second paragraph of the description or scan this QR code with your phone, assuming you're not watching this on your phone. And all donations are so gratefully received and help in the production process. Crossing the road now, we see the cosy cottage bed and breakfast. Accommodation like this keeps small towns alive for visitors wanting something more personal than chain hotels. Often you'll leave not only well fed, but armed with enough local recommendations to fill the next week. And now we head past Susie's Bar, impossible to miss, thanks to the wonderfully bright yellow exterior. On a grey January morning, it almost functions as emergency sunshine. If paint could improve the weather, Donegal would have solved the problem decades ago. Finally, we arrive at the market square, where the library stands alongside that darkly painted building there, the Highland nightclub. Every Irish town has a square like this, a place where markets once bustled, neighbours bumped into one another, politicians made promises, and somebody inevitably complained about the parking. Today it's quiet, the shops are closed, the streets are wet and the pace is gentle. But that's part of Moville's charm. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Naked Ireland.